All right, guys, let's continue with the next part. I believe today might be the fourth or fifth, session about AWS cloud, right? So let's continue. Yesterday, guys, if I summarize what exactly we have uh, done yesterday in AWS. So very quickly, if I try to summarize, okay, just 1 minute, please. Actually, I'm struggling today for the internet connectivity. 1 minute. So, okay. Um, so, guys, let me summarize in this way what exactly. Before I summarize, just try to understand one small thing, right? If you have a device and the requirement for that particular device is store your data permanent, so we can use the term called it is a storage device. Storage is the only kind of device through which you can store your data permanent, that is means persistent, right? But if you want to use any storage device, either to store the data or to read the data in the future, the only way is you need some operating system. Okay, and obviously, guys, when you say when I say operating system, it contains RAM and CPU and plus some more things, right? So it is again as such impossible, right? That you say you have the storage device and without using any operating system, or I can say operating system is again one kind of program, right? Or without using any program, you are able to connect any of the storage device and can capable enough to read and write the data. Right? It means if I have the pen drive with me or internal hard disk of my laptop or external hard disk, right? Without having any of the operating system, it is impossible to go inside the storage device, means go inside the pen drive and read your data. Right? You can purchase the pen drive, you can manufacture the pen drive, you can buy the hard disk according the size whatever you want, right? But you need the operating system. Why I'm explaining this thing to you? Because same if you go to AWS cloud and say I don't want to buy the storage device as the upfront amount, I just want to use and pay as we go model. So more you use or the time duration that I use, I want you pay accordingly to me. Okay, so there you can go for their storage services and multiple storage services they have. Okay, but I can categorize these two storage services in two type. Okay, in typically, right, I can categorize in the terms of management perspective in two types. Okay, what I mean by management, right? AWS say, okay, I will provide a storage to you, I will charge you as we PV as we go model. Okay, but after I provide this storage to you, okay, obviously you have to read the data or write the data. That is the main use case you have, obviously, to use the storage from my side. Okay, but for using the storage device, you need the operating system. Okay, and in the operating system you have to do lots of things. You have to run some program to manage the storage, because guys, this is device, and any device whatever you have in any of the OS, to interacting with the device or you want to talk to your device, you need a certain program, and that is called driver. So driver is again one kind of program, and without the driver, again, it is impossible to connect to any of the devices in the world, maybe pen drive, maybe RAM, graphics card, network card, any kind of device you have, right? Okay, so technically, AWS say, AWS say that I will provide a storage device to you, but how you gonna manage this storage device? Are you the one who gonna manage this? Okay, so are you the one who launched the OS in my cloud? Are you the one who gonna run the program or the driver of the storage device? Or are you the one who manage the further things? Because final motto, why we are going to use this device? Because we have to store the data. That is the whole and sole final motto to use any of the storage device. So are you the one who are going to to manage the security of this data, plus the durability of the data, plus the availability of this data? Okay, so what is durability? We discussed yesterday. What is availability? We discussed yesterday. So durability means, are you can you manage the guarantee, right? That your data will never be loose, right? If storage drives fail, so you are managing some kind of backup, sometimes also known as replica. These are two different things actually. We will discuss again. Okay. So are you managing the complete durability, that your data would be always be available, or not always be durable? You won't lose the data, or whenever you need the data, right? Are you managing the availability of this data? Whenever you need that point in time, your data would be available to you, so that you can use this data for some purpose, right? So maybe for analytics purpose, for machine learning purpose, for reporting, whatever the final requirement you have. So so technically, technically, if you talk about the management perspective, okay, so I will categorize the storage solutions provided by AWS in two category. One, where we have as a user of AWS cloud, okay, user. And guys, in the cloud computing perspective, right, any of the cloud, if I write here, any of the cloud computing products, especially I talk about public cloud, okay, like anybody who want to use this cloud. So we normally use a term called client or the user. There's a right term you can use, but typically in the cloud perspective, we normally try to normally give the name ourselves a name called tenant. Okay, why tenant? You know, when you go for have a some flat on rent, right? So that time the guy who provide their flat, they are landlord, and we are known as tenant. So technical emergency, we are providing a service to you in such a way, when you come to our cloud, I will give a space to you. I will give my resource to you. And till the time you be here, or till the time you keep on using, it will be only for you. Nobody gonna, nobody gonna use this. So this belongs to you, and you will have feel that it belong to me. It is something like this, you know, when you go take a rent on some house or some flat. So that point in time, you stay there, you feel like this is my boundary, this is my home, or this belongs to me. Okay, so from that same kind of concept, the cloud computing guys work. They say, I have my huge AGO data center. Okay, when you come, whatever the resources I provide to you, it belong to you at that point in time. Okay, so I would be your cloud computing, or I would be your landlord, and you would be my tenant. And from here, one more vocabulary come up, right? Because Amazon say, I am one complete big data center, and a lot of clients can come, in the same time, okay, in parallel. So one client come from, let's say, from US, some kind from come India, other come again from India, right? So multiple clients can come in parallel, or maybe in same time, okay, or I can say simultaneous, right? So but everybody, I will give a feel, but this cloud computing say everybody, I give a feel that whatever resources for first client use, okay, so second client will use their resources, third client will use their resources, and nobody can able to see what second client is using, or what first client is seeing, or they're doing. Okay, it is something like this. You can think it is something like this. You can think like a hotel business. So when hotel business guys built a hotel, inside the hotel they built multiple rooms, and when any guest come up, right, for a day or for a 2 day or 5 days, okay, they give respective room number, let's say 101, or 102, or 103. And that point in time, for example, I am the guest at Vimal. Okay, when I reach to this hotel, is one big building. It is, you can think it as a data center or AG, as a AWS context. Okay, so when I go to this building or AG or hotel, right, they allocate some room to me, or there's some space to me, or you can say some resources to me. And till the time I stay in this room, it look like my complete flat. It look like my complete home. Okay, I can use and fully utilize this particular room. Okay, so here we can give one more term here. right? It means if some other client come up and they will give a separate room. Okay, and this guy also feel that this is my whole boundary, and I'm safe here. Whatever data I put here, whatever luggage I put here, what is the information I put here, it would be completely safe. So they feel this is my area. They feel this is my area. So I can use a one term called isolation. So because of this room concept, right, the hotel guys in the cloud, the data center guys are isolated, right, multiple guests or multiple clients or multiple users, or I can say here multiple tenants. So just in one data center, hundreds and millions of client can work together or tenant can work together. Everybody has their own space. Okay, and that is a reason, right? Hotel guys say hundreds of guests we can accommodate. We have because we have 100 rooms, and if everybody we will isolate the guys, and isolation give normally two things. One, management. They can manage their own room, or they can put their luggage anywhere, or plus the main thing is security. So whatever the data or luggage put by room number one guy, no, that data can't be seen by room number 1 or 3 guys. Okay, security. So same concept, guys. Cloud computing also working. You can think they have a multiple rooms. So in the hotel we can see the room actually exist. It's called physical room. But in the cloud they have some way through which they create the room that look like not real, but it will feel like a real. So I can say it is a kind of virtual room they create for us, or virtual space they create for us. And technically this virtual space in the cloud is known as VPC. So we have a detailed discussion, guys, on the VPC. Very interesting topic in very detail we are going to do and discuss in the future classes when we move to the networking part. Okay, so this is not my today's topic. We will discuss in the upcoming class. Okay, my intention is to tell you one vocabulary here. One of the great feature of the cloud computing is obviously pay as we go model. Second interesting feature of the cloud computing is, right, they say, okay, one single building, okay, hundreds and thousands of users and the client and tenant come and use me, and everybody will create a isolation, separate them. Okay, so it will help them to manage the security and other things also. And that is the reason they use a term called multi-tenancy. So if any product say, or any company say I am a cloud computing service, it means technically they're talking about they are multi-tenant. Means just in one product, Ujjan is one single data center. Okay, right. They are giving a service to hundreds and thousands, millions of client or the tenant in such a way that the first client come up, they feel this is my space. For example, if I go to my account, so it look like this is my space, right? Whatever I put inside my room is my account here. Okay, so it look like this is belongs to me, right now you guys also have a AWS account. You guys and me both are using Mumbai data center, same physical location. Both are using 1A 1B or 1A data center, right? Okay, but what I'm putting in my space, in my room or my account, you guys can't able to see it. Same vice versa, I can't also see your data also. Okay, so so this process known as, I can say myself that my account is I am a tenant for the AWS and not me, millions of tenants using same data center in one go. Okay, but everybody is secure and isolated. So I can say that AWS is giving a service called multi-tenancy service. Okay, and this is one of the beautiful beautiful concepts of the cloud computing. We will discuss, guys, this concept more in detail, and VPC also more in detail. Especially when I go for VPC, I will make you more explain you the actual power of the multi-tenants. And all the newer product in the world, right, they are now start working with the concept of multi-tenancy. Okay, so there's lots of product I've worked on. So nowadays every product just trying to give a facility to the customer of multi-tenancy. Okay, very high level I explain you, but this is not the main topic for today. Main topic again, I just want to start with and continue with the story. Okay, so AWS say, okay, that you are the user of my cloud, and your requirement is you want to use storage as a service, means you want to use storage from my side. Okay, so who gonna manage this storage? Okay, and what I mean by management here, management means because if I give the storage to you, you can't use it, right? Because if you want to use the storage, the minimum requirement and prerequisite and is hardcore required is the operating system. So who gonna install this OS? So you go to EC2 and launch the OS? After launch the install the OS, start the OS, put some security, then connect this pen drive or EBS volume, okay, to the OS, and for the security, availability, durability, you manage, or you want from your behalf, I will manage everything for you. You don't have to worry about the operating system. I will launch the OS for you. I will arrange the RAM and CPU for you. I will manage the security and durability and other thing for you. I will also manage the driver programs for you. Okay, you just come to me, and whatever data, obviously data belongs to you. How I know your data? So whatever data you have, just come and dump here. Means right here. And whenever you have a need in the future, just come the same location and read the data. That's what you do. Otherwise, all the internal management of the OS, I will manage for you. And guys, typically in the industry world, okay, when I say RAM, CPU, and OS, these guys come together. Normally, we give one name called server. So all the server that you need to managing your storage, I will manage for you. Okay, you don't have to worry. But yeah, without the server, it is impossible, or without OS, it is impossible to connect to any of the storage device. Okay, so technically, MSSA, I will manage everything for you. So that is a reason we use a term called fully managed service. Okay, so I will provide a completely managed service by me, who AWS Cloud, and I have my engineers. They will manage for you. Again, and one interesting that they manage for you is servers, means OS. And that is a reason nowadays we are now using some fancy term, right? Sometime instead of fully managed, okay, you can use, but nowadays we start using some fancy term. The term of instead of fully managed, you can use a term called serverless. Okay, serverless. It means Amazon say I can provide a storage to you, okay, storage to you, but that storage would be serverless, means the OS less. But again, guys, a lot of guys confused with this term. It look like this. It look like this. If there is no server, they will directly provide storage to you, but that is not the meaning of serverless. Serverless means, okay, as your final user or you are my final tenant, you don't have to manage server. The underlying server, right, and the entire stack of the RAM, CPU, hard disk, and other things, networking, everything managed by you. You don't have a visibility. You won't able to see which OS we are using. Maybe we are using Windows, and maybe you're using Red Hat, Linux. You don't require to know also. I won't give any connectivity to the underlying OS. Only you think you need is storage that I will provide to you. So for you, as I'm a customer of AWS or my tenant of AWS, for you, it feel like it is serverless. There's no server behind the scene, or there's no server you have to manage, fully managed by AWS. Okay, so they start giving a term called serverless. Okay, so so technically, if you go to any cloud, normally whatever service they give you, some service they give you, okay, that you have to manage. Some service they give you that entirely managed by these guys. Okay, and some service they give you in such a way also, this in fully managed, guys, there's a small difference, very granular difference between this. Sometime in fully managed, you can at least see which OS they are using, which Linux OS they are using. They might give a way you can go and log in also. Okay, but if you go to serverless, everything is invisible, right? Everything is running inside the AWS cloud. Even though you can use you can put your data storage, you can use in other way, but you won't have any visibility which OS or which version they're using. Everything has been hide. Normally in our computer world we use the term called abstract. Everything they abstract, they hide from us. Okay, so they minor difference, but guys, again, don't worry. This term we are going to discuss in very detail. So we have some topic in our program, one of the powerful topic called lambda. Okay, so that we'll discuss in the future classes. There I will talk more about what is the serverless. Okay, so don't worry if you understood today or not, it is not at all important. Okay, but in the lambda topic, I will explain you, and you will have a clarity, right? What the power of serverless, right? So nowadays, almost all the major services in the cloud world are slowly moving to serverless. Okay, so initially they say you manage, then they say we manage. Now they are little bit changed there, and they say now we manage plus everything is also invisible because you are a final user, right? What you use, for example, if you go to Gmail, okay, if you go to Gmail or Facebook, okay, Gmail is what? Is one service, right? Mailing service. Who provide? Google provide. But do you know, guys, which OS Gmail is using behind the scene? Windows or Linux? If you Linux, which Linux? Reddit Linux, or they have their own customized Linux? We don't require to know, because our use is we want to use some service of mailing, right? Whatever they're using, which of the OS they're running, which security they're putting, which human being are working there. As such, for the user, we have no concern, right? So that's what you can also consider Gmail as a one kind of serverless, right? So anywhere you can fit this definition, okay, that server is seamless and we are using it, so you can consider that part is serverless. But yeah, that might not be the perfect definition for the serverless, because we have just started our AWS training, but in upcoming classes we will discuss about this topic in detail. Okay, plus this one also. But why I picked this topic today? Because I will keep on talking about this topic multiple times in the future. Okay, and when the respective topic come up, I will show you some demo of this one also, and demo that time you will very much comfortable in this topic. Okay, but why I'm talking about this topic, because if you talk about the storage perspective, okay, so again, any of the storage service they provide, yesterday I have given you a name called EBS. So EBS is the one service that we have to manage. Okay, EBS is the one that will give a storage to you. Okay, and you guys know that storage is called block storage. And through this storage, what can you achieve? You can get a one hard disk, one brand new hard disk. I can use the term called one row hard disk. And why I say row, right? Because in this hard disk they won't provide you pre-created partitions. So we have to create a partition. Then after create a partition, you have to format it, link it to the OS, okay, and mount it and put the data. So they provide a raw, clean, new hard disk. But for using this hard disk, you have to manage your own OS. Okay, you have to launch the OS. Yesterday I launched EC2 instance, then I connect one patch, then I can use this. So EBS is a good service, no doubt, but we have to manage the underlying server, okay, to use the EBS. But there's one service provided by AWS for the storage, okay, and I can categorize this service into serverless. Why? First of all, it is everything managed by AWS. Plus, which OS they are running behind the scene: CentOS Linux, Ubuntu Linux, Red Hat Linux, or Windows. As such, as a user, we don't know. And let's think in this way: we don't know. Nobody knows. They say your requirement is to use it, right? Just go and use it, right? However, I'm managing this services. This is my lookout. So I'm giving you a serverless storage, and the name of the serverless storage is called S3. S3 is one of the service, right? Not only, there's other storage also, but S3 is one of the storage from AWS. We can categorize this service into a term called a serverless storage, or I can say serverless service. I can say, okay, but the use of S3, we already discussed. S3 is one service that is used for object storage. That's the only thing. And what is object storage? We already discussed yesterday. So just think like it's the Google Drive. So how Google Drive gives the storage to you? Same way they give you. So you can't use the Google Drive for the hard disk or raw hard disk. You can't create a partition. Only thing that you can do is upload the file and download the file. That is the core thing you can do. That's all. And that file here is known as object storage. Okay. So, so guys, almost all the services that we are going to discuss in the future, some service are serverless service and some service we have to manage. Okay. So all the service in AWS are categorized in two parts. Just for example, by chance, if you know, otherwise there's not so much important. Anybody, if you know one of the great technology called Docker. Okay. So, or Kubernetes. So in AWS, Kubernetes is one service. They say I am giving Kubernetes as a serverless also, and they have given the name called Fargate. Okay, very quickly if I show you, guys, again, don't worry if you don't know, but just want to give one example here. So if you want to use Kubernetes, they say one service called EKS. EKS. Okay, this is right. You have to manage something. Okay, you have to manage something. Okay, but if you go to Fargate, okay, there's come inside this box, not ECS. There's one sub-service over here. They say it's serverless, right? It means it means I will manage some servers for you. Okay, you don't have to worry about. I don't give you the access also because you don't require to go inside. However you want to use it for that purpose, you can use. Like, even though by chance they have the pop-up also here, serverless container AWS Fargate. Okay, by chance this feeds also come up here. Okay, have here. Okay, so guys, don't worry. We have just done the fourth day of the training, but I just wanted to high level introduce okay these two terms, but we go more in a deep dive about this topic. So every service, not storage, every service. Maybe if you go to machine learning, you go to big data. If you go to IoT, if you go to container Dockers, you go to storage, you go to security. Okay, they mainly categorize in two parts. Okay, one we have to manage, and second, AWS will manage everything for you with the concept called serverless. Okay, so almost all the service, not every, but almost all the service, they provide you in that kind of form. Okay, but let's continue on with that with the same process. So yesterday, guys, we was discussing about the storage. Okay, and two storage actually we have started in parallel. One is block, means the service name is called EBS. Okay, this service we have to manage. So guys, there's two things, right? We have to manage storage they provide you. Okay, we don't have to buy the storage real. Okay, storage they provide you, but we have to manage. We have to launch. We have to create. We have to do backup. So if you go to EBS and say, "Can you manage backup for me?" Okay, they say no. You have to just come and tell me. Then I will do the backup for you. If this hard disk been corrupted, so can you create one backup for me, or can you create maybe some kind of replica for me? Replica is different thing, but they say no, we don't do. When you ask us and you have to manually go and set up in the AWS cloud, then only we will do for you. Or can you give any options that I can directly connect to you and get the data without using any OS? So they say no, you can't, because I'm the storage, I'm a device. You need some OS, and that OS you have to manage. You have to launch. Okay, so it is technically it look like everything is we have to manage. So resources, or it's called storage as service, provided by AWS, means hard disk they provide. We don't have buy. Okay, but management perspective we have to do. And the EBS somehow we have discussed already, but lots of things in the EBS we're gonna discuss today. Okay, but first I would like to start with object storage, this called S3. So what is object storage we discussed already. What is S3? High level we discussed, but as we go deep dive, you come to know some more power of S3. Okay, so very quickly, S3 I can categorize this guy into serverless. So again, this is storage, this is device, but AWS say what server we are using, you don't have to worry about. Just use it. Okay, everything we will manage behind the scene. Okay, and one more interesting thing I just want to tell you here. Okay, and so S3 guys is very much useful. Anybody who are from the background of data engineers, okay, or I can say big data world. So anybody over here, even though I just want to point out all of my earth learner, they are learning big data Hadoop right now. Or in the big data Hadoop, we are using HDFS for the storage. But nowadays, lots of company, instead they use HDFS, okay, they use S3. Not always, but yeah, a lot of company they use. Just for extra knowledge, guy, I'm giving you. But at not this part is not at all, might not important for this AWS class. But I suggest in the future classes of guys, Earth learners over here, I'll show you how we can integrate. We'll remove HDFS part and we'll integrate with S3, and all the part storage will be stored in S3 because replica, backup, everything, or unlimited storage they will provide to us behind the scene. Okay, they might be some kind of cluster, but they are doing for us. Okay, so guys, so anybody who belong to big data world, right? So S3 is a good product to use because in the big data, the size of the data is huge, maybe maybe terabyte or petabyte. So S3 giving you almost unlimited kind of storage to you. But interesting thing is serverless. You don't have to worry about any of the server and OS management. Okay, so let's guys directly come jump back to the S3. Okay, so if you want to use the S3 guys, how we can use? So again, it is category inside the storage called S3. You can also consider guys Google Drive is also serverless, right? Something like because we don't know which server they are running. Some servers should be running. One minute. So I am looking for, yeah, one minute guys. Let me create a folder for today's. It's 4th October. So today guys, we are going to learn some of the basic of S3. Maybe some of the thing of EBS or again. And maybe if we got the time today, I also want to move to IAM. Okay. So let's see. And again, guys, you understand one more thing. I'm picking multiple topic together, but technically I'm not completing all the topic together. Because if you go to EBS, there are lots of things there. If you go to EC2, there's lots of things there. But if you start going down inside every topic, so especially those guys who are new in the technology of cloud, they will confuse, right? Because for this, there's some other concept also we require. Okay, so we keep on visiting this service again and again. I will again come back to S3, come back to EBS, come back to EC2. But yeah, by the end of this program of my CSA track, or maybe my developer track, you will see almost all the concept of these services that we start touching initially, it will be complete. Okay, we keep on revisiting these services. So don't consider guys, I move back to S3 doesn't mean I left lots of concept in EBS. I left intentionally because because I believe when the respective requirement use case come up in my future discussion, I will come back, explain you, then we use it. Okay. So guys, this is S3. This is the page of S3 services. Okay. So let me explain you how we're going to use this. So there's one or two small vocabulary in the S3 you should know, right? So guys, whenever you use Google Drive, sorry, okay, Google Drive, what you do with the Google Drive, you have some data. Okay, the data you keep in one file, and this file you upload in the Google Drive. And sometimes you also do one more thing just for good management. For example, if you see my Google Drive, just for small management, what I did in my Google Drive. So I start keeping the data per folder. So this is a key clock data for Island team, and this is for Wipro, or this is for some other thing, right? So I always create some folder, and you guys also do multiple folders you create. And inside this folder, we have multiple data. Okay. So normally, you just for management purpose, you always create a folder, and inside the folder, you're managing the files. Okay. So this is a way you manage very simply your data. Okay. But in the object storage as a service perspective, or I say S3 perspective. S3 also, guys, we're gonna do the same thing, but instead we use the term called folder. Here we use a term called bucket. Okay, so in S3 we have to first create a bucket. Okay, instead we use a term called file here, right? We normally use a term called object here. So when you want to store any upload any data, maybe image or video, okay, obviously that will be inside a file, but this file is known as object. So this is the guys two small vocabulary you should know. Okay, let's start jump to the practical. Okay, so this is my S3, and here if you see in the first page they give you, do you want to create a new folder? Means a new bucket here. Okay, so I say yes, I would love to create. Okay, so you can give any bucket name. So example, let me give the bucket name called test bucket. Okay, and here guys they're asking you, um, uh, this bucket is what folder? Inside folder we file, inside file we have data. So finally this data is stored in somewhere in the hard disk or somewhere in the storage device of what? Amazon. Okay, and Amazon guys give their storage or resources from their AGs. And AG is normally managed by regions. Okay, so here they're asking you, right? Finally, when you want to store your data in the storage, so which region AG you would like to use? You want to store in the Mumbai region, or you want to store in the US Virginia region, where you would like to store this data. So here I can select, I will select in the Mumbai. So that's all you have today. You tell this guy. Otherwise, in Mumbai, they have to store in 1A, 1B, 1C, which data center, or may they copy in all the three data center. If by chance one data center goes down in Mumbai, so they are giving the data, the guarantee of availability. Second data is keep on running. So they say maybe one of data center goes down, maybe because of some natural disaster, your data is still available in the my second data center. I give access to the data center. So availability of the data won't be a big challenge. Similarly for durability also, if two data center goes down, the hard disk got corrupted. Okay, so I have one more copy in my third data center in Mumbai. I can give the copy from there. Okay, so data would be always durable. So here they want to ask you about one particular data center, because maybe even the data center huge, but maybe due to some disaster they goes down. So they say, just give me your region name. Otherwise, underline management of how much backup you have to do, that my engineers or my program will do for you. Okay, so you just tell the your region name. Okay, but you know what happened, guys? Now, right now, as I save this file, I'm asking to create this bucket in Mumbai. You might see they say bucket name already exists. Means they say this folder already exists. Okay, but if I go to my portal, I don't have a folder with the name of test, but still they say this folder exists. Why? It takes me 5 or 10 minutes to actually explain you why, but very high level if I try to explain you right now. Okay, it is something like this. Okay, Amazon has one constraint in S3 especially. They say they say maybe you are creating a bucket from your account. This is my account, Vimal. I'm one of the user or one of the tenant of AWS. Okay, and from your account, if you are going to create one folder from S3 or bucket in S3, okay, in Mumbai, because we are multi-tenant services. Okay, so let's say we have one more account, Jack. They also have one other account in AWS. This is again one more user or tenant of mine, and this guy might also using S3 in Mumbai, same location. So it is look like something look like something look like you have one single hotel, and that hotel is S3. Okay, and here we will provide some space to Vimal, one room, one space to Jack, one room. So Vimal data Jack can't see, Jack data Vimal can't see. So this room, I may say, I will manage behind the scene. This isolation, I can manage for you. Don't worry. Okay, and why same hotel? Because both the guy using same region. So there's one single building. Let's say both the guys use same building, or same director or same region. Okay, but there's one facility Amazon want to provide you, and to avail that facility, it is compulsory, or we can make a compulsory, or we make a constraint. If both the account are using same region, so if Vimal has created, or sorry, Jack has created a folder called test, right, in the Mumbai, same folder name Vimal can't create, even though they are two independent account, right? Nobody know each other, okay, but they are using the both the guys S3 services in Mumbai region, right? Mumbai region. So when somebody has, so right now, guys, Amazon maybe have millions account, and all the million account are using S3 services, and every S3 guys using all the million account using from Mumbai. So if somebody has created a test bucket, so all other account of AWS, right, we won't able to create it. Okay, so they have set some kind of rule for this, or I can say some constraint for this. Okay, why? Why they have this rule? So I told you guys, just give me 5 or 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I will like show you something, right? From there, you will automatically understand why they have this rule. So technically, let's come to back my this screen again. So I am using, I'm going to create bucket test. If some of other account, I don't know somebody, right? We never know, because I am isolated, this guy isolated. I don't know who created, but MSI somebody has created the bucket with this name in Mumbai. You can't create. So let me try with test 1, 2, 3. This also been created. Or let's me some random try test Linux world 1, 2, 3. Right? I'm just trying to manually try to hit and trial here. Now it looks good, right? It looks good. So now this bucket that I have created. Okay. So now if anybody want to create the same bucket in Mumbai, they can create another other region, right? Let's say they go to they go to Seoul or Singapore. If that folder is not there, then you can create. But only one account and one single name they can create it. Right? Why? Why that is a rule? In just 5 minutes you come to know. So, but finally, guys, this bucket has been created, or this folder has been created. Okay. So why we want to create this folder? The only reason is, we would like to upload my file or object. And how to upload guys your file object, you guys know, it's pretty straightforward. So the option called upload, that's all. Just go and upload the file. For example, let's say I have one file with me. Let's say this is my file. File would be file, right? It's maybe image or video or whatever you want to keep there. So this file I will have to upload, right? So pretty straightforward. Just click upload. Okay. Drag and drop here also, or you can add, same thing. So in my desktop, so I would like to upload this file. That's all, and click upload. So very straightforward, guys, nothing fancy, right? So it is something like this, the way we use in Google Drive also. So we've created a folder there and upload the file. After upload the file, we download the file, everything we can do here. Okay. So my file uploaded, right? This name come up there. They show the size. Okay, guys, there's a concept called storage classes. So there's multiple storage classes in AWS. I will take this topic, guys, afterwards. When I will talk about something about performance of the storage. So this topic and the topic of EBS, there is also, multiple kind of volume types. Okay, so both the topic I will take parallel, because name is different, but the use case of both the topic is same. Okay, but so I'm not picking this topic today, but I will take after we discuss about performance. So this is my account, and obviously this is my account. This is my document. So I can again come back, log in, and click here, and click and download. I can download, right? So nothing fancy here. Okay, but sometime, sometime, and most of the time, guys, because if you talk about the company perspective, so I will take about one great use case for S3, how a company use. Not today again. So most of the time, guys, if we keep our data in S3, okay, so most of the time we would like to share my data or file to everyone, or let's say public. So anybody in the public can see my data, can download my report, can download my image and video. Okay, so this is the very common use when we go for cloud, public cloud like AWS. Okay, very rare you will see we keep our data for ourselves. Most of the time, I say 70-80%, we always upload the data here so that we can share publicly, anybody can use it. Okay, and why we will discuss, but this is a very common requirement. Right. But for this, what Amazon provide you, if you click in this photograph or this image of this file, if you click here, okay, here they talk about if you want to share this image that anybody can download. Right now only you can download because this is your account. Okay, but if you want, anybody can download this image. So what I did, because now how anybody can download, everybody internet, and everybody normally are very much comfortable about with the browser. Okay, so we have provided one URL to you. It's called URL of your file or object. This is URL we have provided. Right, the good thing, because this is URL, and because this is URL, and normally guys we open the URL how, right, we normally open the URL with the browser. So anybody who has the browser, and everybody has the Safari or Chrome or Firefox, they can click on this link. I can share this link to WhatsApp, something like this, and click. When they click, they will download this image or video. Okay, so let me guys copy this link. Okay, and trying to pretend guys this link I've shared to you in your Google Drive. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'm opening this link in a incognito window. So it looks like a new client come up. This guy is not logging to my account. Okay, and I shared this link to you, and anybody can click and download. But you know what happened right now? If I click here, okay, so by default Amazon has a restrict access to share publicly. Okay, if anybody has this link, or by chance anybody get this link from your account, and they try to download your data or image and video, they have access denied. So Amazon say, okay, it's good practice, guys. The good practice is, you know what, always give a least privileges. Means if you upload something, try to first of all by default restrict everybody, because we don't know, right, to whom you would like to share. Or maybe Amazon say, we might feel you guys are new in AWS, and you upload some sensitive file, image and video, and you don't know about security and permissions here. So for my side, to give my customer, Amazon say to you, Vimal, you are my customer, or you're my tenant. So by default, I give you a security called denied. Nobody can download your image, even though they know the complete URL. Only person that download the image is your account. So log into your account. I show you already. We can download. But if you want that anybody can download this, so there's option here, guys. Right, there's option here called make public. Click. So, but if you see, guys, this option is grayed out. You won't able to click this option. Okay, so it means if I want anybody in the world who know my URL, to whom I share my URL, they can download my this document or the object. Right, we have to share it, make public. And good thing is we can, if in my current folder I have 10 different files or images, so I just want to share 2, right? I can just give make public to this guy. It's something like this that you do in the Google Drive also. In the Google Drive, you just do right click the option called get shareable link, something like this. So which file, which folder to share, you can decide. But by default, Google Drive, again, they are restricted, but you can share. Okay. Same thing you can do here. Okay. But right now, they are not giving me any options for make public. It's denied, right? It's basically grayed out. Why? Because last from few version of AWS cloud, they have done one more restriction. So they have done one more restriction here. They say, because you are keeping all the file and object where in the folder means bucket. So in this bucket, you keep multiple files, file 1, file 2, file 3. So every file, you can set their own restrictions, right? As you can say, this file we won't share, this file we won't share, but this file we will share. So you can go and do the make public. But by chance, all the files belong to my folder, And folder also have permissions, and folder also have a security. Again, by default, folder say if anything that is go inside my folder, inside my bucket, everything is denied. Nobody can go inside from outside world and can see these files. Okay, can see these files. Okay, where you can see this? Okay, so we go again out to AWS services, and this is the folder we have created. This one. And if you see here, any further folder you create inside the folder or any file you upload, bucket and object, figure screen. What I mean by this, because guys, from next weekend, I will jump to the command line. So I show you, we don't have to log in to the AWS portal. From the command line, we can also create this. Okay, but the final use is same, but graphical and the command line behave something different sometimes. Okay, so it is written here because right now I've created this folder from this graphical. It's called web UI. So they by default have an option called, if you create any folder, the bucket and object are not public. Means inside this, whatever keep, I won't allow, nobody can go inside this folder to see the content. But if you want to allow, see here, access, this is called secured access, is not allowed. So you have to make it public. And how we can do it? For this, there's option in the top called edit public access setting. Because idea is simple, guys. If anybody from outside world from internet, they want to come inside you to use your file, and this concept is called access. Okay. And by default, access is restricted, not allowed. To whom? Public, guys. Anybody in the internet is not allowed. Okay, so if you want to allow this, there's an option called edit public settings. Click here. Let me share this screen. Okay, and here, if you see a by default option is block all public access. Okay, so it means everything is blocked. Nobody publicly can come and access. And what to do? Just remove this option. Okay, it means anybody in the public, they know your URL, obviously, they can go and access your images. Okay, and there's a lot of other options also, guys. So in my upcoming class, I will go very deep dive into ACLs and bucket policies, very powerful settings. So we can plan, okay, which account to, I don't want to give public access, but other account can use it and something like this, right? So we can give this power in the future classes. But right now we can't go because for this, you should know more about security. Okay, but right now, the only option that you have to do, unselect this. That's the only thing you have to do. Okay, just by unselecting, obviously, because you're messing with some big security, they ask you, are you confirm you are becoming public? This might be sensitive data. If you say it's confirm, just write confirm here. Just type confirm. And after confirm, we will give access to this folder, everybody in the world. And now, after you do this, refresh the page. Refresh the page. And what you will see, okay, this option will change to public. Okay, it means anything that you put in this bucket, okay, according to bucket, anybody can go in. So according to bucket, anybody can go in public. Okay, now let me refresh my page again. Last time you see the error called access denied. Okay, let me refresh. Again, the same error, access denied. Why? Because my folder say I have given the access to go inside my box, but finally you are accessing this file. File can also manage their personal security. Okay, and according to this file, they are not allowing you to download this image or to use this image. Okay, so if you go to this respective files, if you click on this file, they say, okay, I am this URL, but my access is not public. How I know? Because this option is make public is not selected. But now last time you see there was grayed out, but now this option come up. So if you want to make this public, I just click here. That's all. Public. Now this operations happen, and now it is being public. This file is public. Okay. Now because public is anybody now in anywhere in the world. Anybody in the world can access this. Even though guys, you also know your URL, whatever location you guys are belongs to, you can download and see this image. So let's see what happened this time. Now this image is downloading, and after download, they see. Very small thing, guys, because this is very common question asked to me. I don't know why we ask. Okay, but somebody say I would like to restrict in view, but they can do download. Or sometimes they say they say I would like to restrict download, but they can view the image. Or no, Vimal, that can view the image. Okay. So sometimes somebody guys asking that I would have to restrict that nobody can download my image and the videos, but they can see it, view it. Like this, they can view it, but nobody can download. And this one thing, guys, on the networking world, okay, if your image is not there, it's coming from some URL, internally first your image always download. After download only, you can view it. There's no meaning of view without download. First, your content, image, photo, videos, data, first have to come to your laptop via networking. It means they're downloading. And after download, then what you want to do with your data image, you want to view it or save it, that would be your choice. Okay, so there's no meaning. There's no meaning. No, because this is the image. Right now I'm seeing the my image directly here, but sometime I would have to present this image in some of the website. Okay, so website. So for example, very quickly, if I go to a website called Right Earth, for example, just for very quick example, I just want to show you rightearth.com. Okay, so in this website, what I did, we have put one image. Okay, and when you open this website, that particular image will open. Okay, for example, this is the one of the image of mine. So somebody say anybody can see this image or nobody download. And that's one thing, guys, know internally first download happen. If the data doesn't come to your laptop, how can you see it? Download will happen behind the scene, then only we can we can visualize, we can see the data. But sometime, because this is a website written in HTML, so some JavaScript code we can write. So anybody who know web technology, so they can write JavaScript code. If you do right click, this option of downloading and copying won't come up. So there's a different point. Okay, so if you want to restrict download and save and copy or right click, so some kind of JavaScript code you can write. That is a different point. But also that we can also bypass. So in that browser with this option to stop all the JavaScript. So that can also be bypassed. There's a different point. So my intention is to tell you, if you say you want to give the access to this image, downloading is, you can think of view is same. Both our guys are equal. They're not two different things, right? Internally. That's what I just want to tell you. Okay. So yeah. So guys, this is a way. So technically, per objects, we can give different permissions. So I can upload one more file, and this file I say, no, I don't want to allow this file to be accessed by outside world. But any of the file, one file you want to give the access to outside world, your bucket should have allow, because without entering the bucket, how anybody can access your files. Okay, this is one thing. One more interesting thing, guys, that to be noticed, right? If you talk about this URL, let me go here. Okay, there's something interesting about this URL. If you notice this part, right? So let me talk about this URL. What is URL, guys? I think everybody know. So if when I open this site, writeearth.com is one of the URL of this site, right? This is called URL. Okay. So this interesting thing about the URL is, if you notice one interesting thing about this URL is this one. 1 minute. The interesting thing is, right, whenever you upload any image, okay, whenever you upload any image or object or file, okay, it store that image in some of the folder called bucket. Okay, so if you notice, guys, here in this URL, they mention the bucket name here. The bucket name here. Plus, they also mention one more thing here, because we upload this bucket in the Mumbai. And if you know, Mumbai is just a name, right? Mumbai is just a name. Okay, if I go to some other services here, Mumbai is just a name. Every region has some ID, AP South 1. Okay, so if you notice here, they also mention in this URL AP South 1. And for the Amazon.aws.com is a is a domain name of AWS, like Facebook.com, so the domain name. Okay, and understand the one thing, guys, because this is the one one URL, and normally URL we create with HTTP or HTTPS, because browser normally by default support HTTPS, like we use in the website also. Okay, so this is URL. Okay, and last, after slash, they will give the image name. What is your image name that you want to access? Okay, so the interesting thing here is this URL Amazon create automatically for you. Okay, but now the important point here is, it means you know what, guys, the URL means, okay, if anybody in the world has facebook.com or www.facebook.com, this is the one of the domain name or the URL. Okay, so this is the URL of facebook.com, facebook fb.com. So nobody in the world will have the same URL. So URL or the domain name, okay, normally I say URL. URL is always unique in the entire world. I can say global. Okay, so URL is a kind of global. Global means if I have this URL, nobody have the same URL in the entire world. Similarly, this URL belongs to me. Nobody in the world will have exactly the same URL. Okay, nobody will have this URL belong to me. Okay, and what this URL provide you? It provide you some images, some videos. It is resources. So in the URL, R stand for resource. But where this resource located? Here. So L stand for location. And normally the URL is fixed. Nobody change, right? It's fixed. So it's uniform. Uniform resource location. But my main point here to explain, guys, here is, okay, because URL is fixed. Okay, nobody have the same URL in the real world, in this world. Okay, so it means in Mumbai, okay, if I am using this URL with this name, or technically this name come from where? From my bucket name. It means in my URL, if I'm having this bucket name, okay, so same bucket name or same URL, if you want, if you want use by other account, for example, right now I'm using Vimal account here. And let's say anybody also here Jack account, they also want to go and create one more bucket. Okay, they also want to go and create one more bucket. Okay, let's say test LO123. Okay, they won't allow. Okay, why? Because finally Amazon will create a URL. Okay, in the URL, they always give the bucket name plus the region. That easy region, guys, it is compulsory, or I told you this is a constraint. Okay, maybe your account is different, your tenant, different tenant. Okay, but if you are creating a bucket in Mumbai, same bucket name that I created, you won't able to create. Okay, so when I show you the example test, right? So somebody in the Mumbai has already created a bucket called test. Or they created the bucket called test. So they have a URL called test.s3.spo Mumbai, something like this. Or this URL means global. Anybody can use entire the world. Nobody has the same. That is one of the reason, guys, or not one reason why Amazon has created this constraint. Okay, so it is a multi-tenant service, right? Means what I'm putting here It is not visible to anybody in the world. Okay, no other account can see my data. It's isolated, secure. But because Amazon want to give some extra facility, facility is that if you want to share your images publicly, for this you need a URL. And if I allow some other account also to create the same bucket name, then your URL and their URL will conflict. So that is a guy's constraint why Amazon has restricted, okay, that you can't create a bucket with the same name in the Mumbai. Okay, that's guys one small thing. Okay, that's one point. And guys, if you're planning to go for a CSA global examination, this question normally always they ask you. Okay, so you should know the syntax of this URL. First, the bucket name come up, then S3 name or service come up, or some other service also have some kind of URL concept. Okay, so their service name come up. Okay, then the region name come up, then Amazon.aws.com, their domain name come up. So sometime in the CSA global examination, if you plan in the future, okay, this is the one question normally, sorry, they ask you in the examination, and they give 4 or 5 options, and 4 options they say which is the right URL for the bucket or for the object URL. Okay, so you have to take which one is right. So this is the right syntax for this URL. Okay, so but guys, there might be a lot of discussion we have done here, right? But finally, okay, if you notice here, we are uploading the file, we are uploading the data, we are creating the folder, we are accessing this data also. Everything we are doing, but it means IAM or Amazon Reboot the Data Center, it is permanent. This means they are storing somewhere in the storage, right? So if they're storing somewhere in the storage, means some of the OS is working from them and some of the server is working from them. But if you try to figure out which server they are using, which OS they're using, if you try to log into the server, you can't do. Because Amazon say, I will fully manage this guy. Even though I won't show you which server I'm using, you just upload here, download, and do something else, whatever you want. Okay. So I can use, I can say S3 is the serverless service. That's what I just want to tell you here is. Okay. But guys, right now I just want to restrict my discussion till here. Okay. In my upcoming classes, I will go in properties. I will talk about versioning, Easter egg websites, login, encryptions, right? I will go for permissions where I talk about more about ACLs and bucket policy and chorus, okay, management, where we talk about life cycles, analytics, okay, and maybe in access point, we might discuss something, might, okay. So don't worry, guys. We will touch almost all the topic of S3, but I just want to restrict again my discussion till yet, because for new guys who are first time accessing S3, I don't want they confuse. Okay, because my intention is to everybody learn, right? But yeah, in upcoming classes, we will discuss almost everything. As and when that things come up, a requirement come up, we keep on coming and discussing this topic. Okay. And right now, I just want to move to one more service that might be useful for you. Okay, and without knowing this service, so in my next class, guys, I would like to move to the CLI. So there also we need to require that service. Okay, service again very big, very powerful also. It is related to security. Okay, it is related to security, and the name of the service is called IAM, Identity Access Management. Right. Let me give very high level meaning about of this service. This service, for example, if you talk about your account, so I have created my account, let's say with the name called Vimal. So Vimal is a one tenant, right? And from my credit card or debit card, I created account in the AWS. Okay, so right now if you notice here, okay, if you notice here, you guys, one more thing I forgot to tell about S3, very basic thing, right? In Amazon, guys, there's 3 different kind of service. You can say which category service belong to. So I told you guys, EC2 is a regional services. EBS is a AG services per data center services. S3 is, guys, a global service. If you also notice here, as soon as you reach to S3, you become global, and all the name of the regions is being grayed out. So, guys, S3 is they don't work and ask you to select the region. They are the global service. Okay, it doesn't mean when you store data, the data stored across the world. Finally, you can decide where you want to keep the data. So it look like this is a regional service, but they're not. They say I am the global service. Why they say? One of the reason is they say because after you dump your data, okay, dump your data here, and this data anybody can access across the globe by this URL, and nobody will have same URL across the globe, across the world, across the internet, right? So that is one of the reason I can categorize this service as a global service. Okay, so some service in AWS is global, regional, and AGs. Why? There might be some lot of performance reasons. We will again when we go for performance, and some other things we will discuss, right? So more why you come to know why have some service like this, some service like this, right? We'll discuss. Okay, so let's come to our main topic here. It's called one next topic called IAM. So guys, what you see here right now, if you see, this is the account I have created. Okay, let's say for my name, and I have in my billing dashboard, I have put my credit card. Okay, and from when I log in from this account, let me log out very quickly. The username that I use to log in this account is this one. Is this one. Okay, so guys, at the time of creating this account in AWS, okay, and that time whatever username you put as email ID, okay, that username is known as a root user. Okay, you can see root user. Okay, so technically, let's say this is my account. I create, let's say I create with this account or this Gmail ID. Okay, so this account through which you attach your credit card initially are known as the root account or root user also you can say. And what I mean by root here, you can consider root as admin. Admin means unrestricted. In this account, after I log in from a root account, okay, in this account, after I log in from this account, right, I have unlimited power in my account, in my room, in my tenant. Right, this is my tenant. I have unlimited power. I can go and use any services, remove any services. I can go to EC2, launch the instance, terminate the instance, right? I can go and check my billing dashboard. Okay, I can go and add some extra credit card account, credit card number, remove it. Okay, everything I can go and visit, right? Everything work fine. Okay, so because I am into the root account or the admin account. But guys, you know what happened right now, because we are just learning the AWS, right? But normally if you go to some corporate environment, right, where we might have one single account, or maybe we have one account per team, let's say. Okay, so we have one account. Account means we have one one login or one tenant. Okay, so we have one room means one tenant. Okay, and multiple different team members. So let's say you have one team, IT team or some other team, developer teams, whatever you have. Let's say in the team there's three different members, A, B, and C. There's three different persons, I can say. Person A, person B, person C. Okay, or let's say they have the team also have some their manager. Okay, so what I want, guys, if manager go to this tenant or this screen, like this screen also known as console. So management go to this management console. Okay, they should have, they obviously they require the username, right, to log in and password. So this console say you are logging with using a password. So I check your login and password. I know your identity. I know you are manager because you have this username and password. So I know your identity. I check your password, and after checking the password, I authenticated you. You are the authenticated user. Okay. And because you're login from this user, and by chance this user that you log in is a root user, the same user through which you create this account or create this console or create this tenant. Okay. So you have the unlimited power. You can go here, go and check the billing dashboard, remove the card, all the power you have because you are the one who created this account or create this tenant. All the power you have. Okay. But now here, guys, we have launched some projects here. In project, we require to launch hundreds of instances, go to S3, put some data, copy data from there, and lots of other services also working here. Okay. So, guys, don't worry if you see some amount in my account. So in your account, guys, this amount won't come up because I'm using some other services also. So I'm getting the amount from that services. But you're using free tier account. In your free tier, if whatever come under the category of free tier, you will always see account 0. But I always highly recommend keep on checking your billing dashboard. Okay, that's what I highly recommend. Okay. So what I'm talking about, guys, right now, you are working on a big project and lots of services of AWS you're using. By chance, we just know only 2 services like EC2 and S3. Okay. So you know what I want? I don't want as a manager to keep on logging and manage all the services. So I have my team members. I want A will go and A can do everything in the EC2 services. Okay. So any kind of new instance we want to launch, A will have a power, right, to go inside the EC2 and launch the instance, remove the instance. B will have a power, okay, to go to S3 and create any object, remove object, upload the file. A has a power to do this. Okay. And C also I want to use as at a time something like a supervisor, right? Where C can go inside EC2 also and S3 also, but they can only view it. You can think it's like a read-only power. Okay, means they can see a number of instances they're running by A, but if C want to delete the instance or stop the instance or remove the instance, they can't. If C want to remove some folder or active, upload something, right? They can't. So I want C as a user or person in my team will have only read only power, means view power. A and B, right, has a power of rewritable, or I can also use a command called edit power, or I can also use the admin power. Or for what? Only for these services. But A user want to go inside S3, they won't have any power to see anything. Neither any can change anything. Okay. So, this is the way we want to plan my security. But technically, if you try to see the security is something like, we are trying to restrict B, B can't go to EC2. We are restricting A can't go to S3. We are giving the power to A can access these services. So technically, it is something like access management. See, we want some security who manage the access management for me. That's what I want. Okay. And why we want? Because to manage, because I have one big project going on, right? And I don't want or it has been run it has been managed by my team members. So I don't want every team member can see everything. Okay. So maybe I have some database service running. So I want one more team member we have and see my database. Okay. So you want some kind of security that restrict the access or give the access to that particular person, right, to their service. And here, guys, person is the one who will log in. And for login, guys, we need a username and the password. Right? And guys, here we can't use the root login and password. If I give my C user a login and password root account, then after login and password, maybe this is a different person, but how my AWS know this is a different person, right? According to AWS, they check your identity with your username and password. And they see you log in with a root account, they give the complete power. So technically, what we are going to do, we have to first create an identity per user. For the A person, let's say this A person is Amit, this B person is Jack, C person is Adam. We'll first we'll go and create identity per user. So you can right now consider identity is like a username and the password. We hand over Jack. Jack, your username is Jack and password, let's say XYZ. Just go and log in. And after you log in, AWS will check your login and password. And after they check your login and password, they will go and check. They will go and check what power you have. What can you do? What can't you do? And guys, giving that power is also known as authority. What authorization you have. So whatever you are authorized to do, are you authorized to use EC2 or S3 or you view only, read only, or databases or my credit card accounts? Okay, what power or authorization you have, that part you can do. So technically, if you talk about AWS cloud and say I have only one single tenant, one single account, one single console, one big project is going on here, and I want multiple team member or multiple persons, right, will go and log in to the same tenant, right, and manage this project or manage this account. Okay, so do you have any service where I can create a multiple identity or multiple account in same account or for the same console, or multiple and plan multiple access for the same account? IAM is actually concept name actually. By chance in Amazon service name is also IAM, but technically IAM is just one concept name where you can manage the identity and the access for your project or for your tenant or for your management console. That's what you can do it. So technically you can think in this way, right? Right now I'm logging from this account. I'm going to create one more account here. Okay. Or I can say I can create one more user here. Okay. After they log in, they can also see the same screen. They can also go to EC2 and can see the same instances. But after they log in, depend upon the power we have given to them and depend on the authority or authorization we have given to this guy. Okay, they can do only that part. Okay, maybe read only, readable, or maybe I don't allow that user will go inside EC2 also. Okay, that power you can manage with the service called IAM. So IAM is a concept name, and there's a lot of product guys available in the market for IAM right now, because guys you are using AWS. AWS has given pre-created IAM service to you. So if, for example, if you go to here in management and governance, you can see, I think in the management governance or maybe in security, and so in security, you can see IAM here. So Amazon has a service called IAM. Okay, and this service they have given they have given to you pre-created. You don't have to configure it. Everything they have given to you. You just go and use it. But in the market, guys, a lot of product available in the market where you have to ourselves create IAM services for the company. For example, right now I'm doing some consulting and something else to some of my vendor in Ireland. This week I'm going to deliver for Hungary or Budapest, right? They are using for their for the IAM, they're not using AWS. They are using they have some kind of microservices, and they are using there's one powerful product in the market called Keycloak. So so this is a Keycloak of ILM team. So Keycloak is again one product, open source product. Okay, is again this product is doing what? Is giving an IAM service. Okay, IAM service. But interesting thing is we have to manage it. We have to configure it. Okay, so everything we have to set up in our own servers. Okay, but if you talk about the IAM service provider AWS, none of the things we have to configure. Everything, which server they're running behind the scene, everything Amazon has managed for us. So again, I can say this is the managed service or fully managed service. Okay, for the IAM. Okay, you can think in this way. But technically, there's other product also in the market like Ping Federated or other product, Ping Directory. Lots of product in the company. In the market, company use company use but for their intent purpose. But if you use the Amazon and you want to restrict Amazon services for their user, you can do from here. So guys, there's a lot of discussion we have, even though we're going to discuss lots of things in the future about identity provider and other things also, or roles. So again, I'm not going for the identity provider rules, right? And how to customize the policies. We will discuss, guys, in my next classes. Right now, just to make this topic very simple, right? So finally, you know what I'm going to do here. Very simple demo, but it may be useful for you guys somehow. It is something like this. I have one account in AWS. I want this single account. Also, you can say tenant. Also, you can say console. What do you want to say? So I want this single account, multiple user can log in. Multiple user can log in, or multiple account can log in. Okay, and obviously, guys, if you multiple you can log in, everybody has a different name. For example, one would be Vimal. Okay, next would be Jack. Next would be Eric. Obviously, they have their own passwords. That's for one plan. Account is one, but multiple user can log in here. Okay, that's my plan. Okay, but you have to do one more thing here. If you want in this account multiple user login, okay, you have to tell one more thing here. What power they have, what can they access, what can't they access. Okay, so I can say Vimal can access EC2 service only. Jack can only access S3 service only. Eric can access only EC2 and S3 both, but only for read only. Means only view. They can access this one of only for edit, means read and write both. These can read and write both. And by default, we always have the account. It's called root account. It's always will be there because this is the first account that you create at the time of when you create the new account in AWS. It's called root account. Okay, but I don't want to use root account. It's sometimes also good. We might also discuss in the future to, after they create a root account, disable the account, because this account is very dangerous, right? Sometimes anybody has access this account, they have a complete control on your account. They can go anywhere. They can delete any user. They can change anybody password. They can go to any of the services and do anything. Okay. Sometimes it's good practice, right? To delete this account. Okay. So, but yeah, right now I'm not deleting here, or I'm not saying deleting. We can disable. So what I'm going to do right now. So if you want to create this username and password, it's called identity. And after creating identity, you want to give some power. It's called access. It's called IAM, Identity Access Management. For this, you have to come to this page. So this guy is IAM page. Okay. And over here, if you see in the left side, there's a topic called users. And here, by chance, I have two users already created. Okay. But let me create some. In your case, you will see there will be no user if you're a new account. Okay. So just click here on the add user. Okay. And I'm going to create one user called as a Jack. So one user I'm going to create as Jack. Okay. And now at this part, I will discuss on my next class because in the next class, we are moving to the CLI part, okay, of AWS. There we have to come back to the screen to enable this part. So I'm not discussing right now. Right now, what I'm going to do here, I'm creating Jack account and say, Jack, if you want to log into this screen, you want to log into this screen. This is my management console, graphical screen. Okay. So do you want to log in here? I say yes. I say yes. Do you want to log in here? I say yes. If yes, then obviously you require password. So you want to auto generate or custom? Let me generate the custom password. So I'm setting some password here. Okay, that's guys, pretty straightforward. In your account or in your tenant, one more new user login, or sorry, one more new user created, or one identity created for the Jack user. So Jack can log in with this password. Okay, and this is one thing. And this is, guys, sometimes good practice. when you create this account, Jack, you are the one who creating. You provide this account and password Jack. So I always recommend guys. So after Jack login first time, ask Jack, this is the password we provided, so we know your password. So I suggest at the time of first login, reset your password. So if you want to make it compulsory, that after user login first time, you won't ask them to reset the password before they go ahead. In my case, I'm doing disable because I don't want to waste the time here. But it's good practice always to ask them to reset the password, whatever password you feel like that you can remember, you can set it. Guys, the next step is called permissions. Permission here. Here, the AWS is asking that now we are going to create a new account in your system. Okay, this account, which power you would like to give? And power here, guys, also known as permission. Which permission you want to provide to this user? What they can access? Okay, so here, guys, if you see here, there's option to attach existing policy directly. Okay, what is policy? We will discuss, guys, more depth in upcoming class when we create our own customized policy. A policy, you can think policy is equals to policy is equals to access. What access you want to give? Okay, just tell me. Okay, for example, in my case, there is a lot of access they have written. You want to give all admin power. You'll give the let me search from here. There's lots of power they have. Okay, let me search for S3, for example. S3. Okay, so they give you 6 result, the power they already given you. So do you want to give a full access power of S3? S3 full access means after Jack login, okay, Jack can go to S3 and they have full power. They can do anything, delete the bucket, create the bucket, upload the file. Okay, do you want to do this, or do you want to only give read-only powers? Yeah, read-only power. So Jack can go inside the S3, they can see all the content, but they can't able to change anything or can't able to remove and delete anything. What power you want to do? So let's say I just want to go for full power. So after Jack login, Jack will have full power. Okay, let me go next. You can give the tag here just for reference. So Jack with S3 power. Just any tag you want to give. So in the future, it will help us in the reference. Review. So this is review. They say Jack account you created, and in just Jack account can log in this graphical screen, not in CLI. What I mean by this, in next class I will talk about. So Jack will have the password, okay, and some permissions we have given to Jack. Some access we have given to Jack is called S3. Jack can only go in S3. And guys, whatever permission you attach, apart from this permission is everything is by default denied. It's been after Jack login, Jack won't able to do anything. This is the only thing Jack has. Okay, and here you can send the mail to Jack. If you click here, it will automatically create option here how you want to send the mail, right? And here you can they will pre-create the mail, the instruction to the Jack. You can put the login email ID, right? And there it automatically send the mail to Jack and say, Jack, this is the way you can log in to the AWS. Okay, so guys, let me create a few more accounts here. Close. I'm going to create one more account with a name called Eric. Okay, I want Eric also log into this graphical screen by this graphical screen. And guys, this graphical screen also web UI, technically known as AWS Management Console. Okay, I want they also log in with some custom password. Okay, custom password, and I don't want again they set the password and permission for this guy. Attach. I would like to give a power related to EC2. So I search for EC2, what a power they provide you. See here. So in EC2, the multiple power they have. But in my case, I would like to give EC2 full access. Or let's say I just want to give EC2 read only. Read only. So this user, after they log in, okay, in the institute, they can only do that particular part. Okay, tag, and let me give some name. This is Eric with EC2 read only. Just give some name. Review and create user. That's all. The two user I have, guys, to test. Now, question come up, guys, how they can log in. Okay, how means, right? If you log out, or let me don't go for this long process. So if you want to, now it means, guys, in every account can be associated with two users. One is called root user. There's a main user the first time you create it. And second is, you can say a sub user or sub accounts. So after you log in from the root account, you can go and create this account the way I create Jack or Eric. Okay. But but if you want to log into root account, you have to go to AWS, right? And for go to AWS, you got URL. So technically, if I log out again, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So let me log in back. So if you want to log into AWS account, normally you click on my account, management console. So this is the URL where you can log in. But this URL, guys, is actually meant for to log in with the root user. Here you can directly type the root user and the login. But here, if you try to log in with the right, click. After click, they ask me login and password. Username I given. They ask me password, but they say I don't know. I don't know. There's some kind of screen come up, look like a little bit confusing screen, right? But technically, you know what they're trying to tell you here is that I am logging with Jack user, sub user. I belong to this account. Okay. But I don't know anything about this account, because you know what, guys, Amazon, whenever you create the account, they give a ID to the account. What I mean by this. So let me again go back, signing from the root user again. What I mean by this. Whenever, guys, you log in in the AWS account, they give a unique ID. That's called account ID. And this ID, guys, is very much useful. If you contact a support team of AWS, they always normally ask you your account ID. So if you guys see in the top, this is the account ID of my account. Even though if you click on the account, you can see this account ID. So every account or tenant has one ID. And this ID, Amazon refer your account or tenant with this ID. So this ID I have. Okay. So why this ID we need? By the root account, and I don't want my root account to be always go and or log in and manage everything. For management, I have created an account called Jack and Eric, right? So what can I do now? After I copy my my account ID from here, okay, and then if I log out from here, so and then I log in, you can see there's one option come up, and they say here, do you want to log in from your root account or whatever account you have? We don't know, but in the account, have you created some sub user, and that sub user is also known as IAM user. So if you want to log in for root account, I know because every root account in the AWS is unique. But inside your root account, if you create some user account or sub users, this is called IAM user. So you have to specify this option. And when you specify this option, guys, you see the details change here. Sorry, the detail change here. And now here they're asking to put your account details. Okay. It means because in Amazon, every account is different, right? So example, in my account, this is my account ID. You will have your own personal account. You can also create Jack account. I can also create Jack account. So everybody will have a Jack account. How Amazon come to know which Jack account we have to log in? But every account is unique, right? So this is my account belong to my root or my Vimal. for example, somebody over here, maybe Ashish, for example, Ashish had their own account. Okay, you can also create Jack. I can also create Jack. But how Amazon come to know? By this ID. Now, after I click next, whatever username you give to me, I will check the login and password. Okay, and finally I will landed this user to this account. So in my case, guy, I already created an account called Jack. Okay, with some password. So Jack is my sub user, also known as IAM user, with some limited power or access or authority. Okay, but Jack will log in to same account. I told you my plan is to log in on the one account only. So again, Jack will log into the same account. They can see all the data what I put in my from initially my root account, what a power they have even. Okay, so let me sign in. Account is different, password different, but they are going to land on the same account. Okay, but if you see, but in the top, you will see in the top. Now we can mention here is there that Jack is login from this account. Okay, now let's try to see the power of Jack. That Jack has a power to go to EC2. So guys, from the Jack, I'm trying to go to EC2 and let's see what power Jack has. So if you see here, everything is blank here. See, blank, blank, blank. If you try to go inside the running instance, you won't able to see anything. Okay, you don't have an instance decision. Okay, even though let me try to launch something. Launch something. And let me quickly launch. Click. Okay, error selecting describe AMI. Technically, you know what? Finally, they might not giving you. Yeah. Now they're giving you are not authorized to perform the office. Okay, so technically in this account, I have instance going on, right? But Jack is not able to do anything. Jack is not able to see anything in the EC2. Okay, why? Because after Jack login, after Jack login, my system has checked the identity by login and password. After the Jack come and login in AWS say in this account, Jack, you don't have a authority to do anything in the EC2, but you have an authority. You have authority to go to S3. There you can go, and because S3 I have given you power of rewritable, I can say edit power, so you can see all the bucket created. If you wanted to remove something, just click here. Okay. In the top, I have given option to delete. Okay, just confirm here. Guys, for deleting, you have to give the bucket name. So bucket name is Vimal LW. I give the bucket name and format. Just click go down and successful, no error, right? Why? Even though I'm sub user, but I have this user have an extra authority, extra power, extra permission. That's called access. Okay, but same user, if you try to go to your IAM services, IAM, where is IAM? Here. You go to IAM, you go to you go to billing. There's no allowed. You're not allowed. If you try to go to billing, you're not allowed. Okay, you can't go. Okay, that's all. But same time, if I try to go to and log in, you're not permission, right? If I try to log in to the other account, there's Eric. Eric, I given a different power. Eric has a power to not go to S3, but they can go to EC2. But only they can view. Only they can view. That's the only thing they can do. So again, I'm logging to my IAM user. But you know, guys, remembering the account ID is sometimes complex. Okay, that is the reason Amazon has given you one unique URL, and they say in your account. Let me again sign into my root user. They say in your account, if any sub user want to log in or any IAM user want to log in, so what can we do? Sorry guys, what can we do? Okay, rather than you ask them to remember the ID or the type the ID of your account, right? What we can do, right? Let me show you. If you go to IAM, okay, right now I'm logging with my root account. I can go to IAM. So in the IAM, in the top, if you see this sign in, now have to remember the account ID. So let me show you. If I open my one more new tab, incognito, if I click here, automatic any of the user to whom you shared this ID or URL, automatic login can come up. Okay, and you'll see it will automatically fill with the account ID. So nobody has to type and nobody has to remember. They have to just type their login and password. So there's a better way. This is the better way actually to log in. So let's see here in this URL, you will see they actually still loading, and this ID will auto fill up. You don't have to type. And finally, you have to just finally log in with IAM user or your sub users. Okay, so technically it is always good practice rather than we give and ask them to go to root console and type the ID, just pass this URL. Even though you can customize maybe this URL look like something complex, you can give some different name also. So just click on the customize, okay, and you can give some simple name, my account or my team account or Landstool account. So rather than give this big name numbers, you can customize. I don't know why this error come. This error shouldn't come, right? Okay, they will show you the error that said you're not allowed. Maybe my system net speed slow. So I'm heading to S3 from in my main account only, but from the S3 I'm doing, sorry, from the Eric account I'm hitting the S3 and they don't have a power on S3. So finally, what do you see? In my S3, I showed you already some folder already have, but you will see nothing will be visible. So they're loading and finally you see nothing will come up. See, error. Access denied. You can't because you don't have any power. But yeah, if I go east to quickly, I can see everything there, but only read only. You can't able to create new or you can't able to delete new. Okay, but guys, this is a very simple demo. Have you okay, but we can also create our own custom policies also, right? Maybe you have a requirement that maybe a requirement uh, in this Mumbai, actually I launched in Mumbai, maybe a requirement that I want in EC2 some of the part they can edit some of the part they can't edit, some of the instance they can restart, some of the instance they can delete. Any kind of custom requirement if we have, okay, those things also we can do. For this we have to do some more extra knowledge, but you can see the number now come up and they know whatever we have. So all the lists now come up. Okay, that's what. So that's one last thing just I will tell you here is, if you want to change the permission of the user, so if you click on the user, here you can see all the 4 user we have listed here. And now you want to change power on the fly, right? Just click on the Eric user, for example. And right now Eric has a permission called this one, right? But you can remove also. Click, detach. Now Eric as a user don't have any permission. Okay, and by default, if you don't add anything here, it means everything is denied. For example, right now, if I see what happens. Now people do anything. Last time they can see everything because we remove the power. Okay, so on the flag I can change the to add some more power. You can click add. Two I want to emphasize actually. Create a power, adding power, and there's one power called power user access. The beautiful thing about the power user access is there's a pre-created power policy access given by AWS. What this guy can do, if you attach any user, this okay, what they can do, let me show you. I'm talking about the power user. So now Eric has a power user power. So any user who have given this particular permission, okay, they can do and use any of the services. They can use EC2, they can use S3, all the services that you know they can use. But only one service these guys can't able to use is called IAM. Apart from IAM, whatever service you want to use, you can use in the power user. Okay, you can see here. But if you try to use IAM, they're not allowed. Obviously, guys, because if I give any other user IAM power, they can deal other user also, right? So power user is that a user that can use all the services here with unlimited power. Okay, the only so that they can't delete other user or they can't change their guys. My I think my network goes down. So the last I think 1 or 2 minutes we have from my side. I actually disconnected. So don't worry, you won't lose anything here, right? So I just reconnected again. And this one last topic, guys, has been left, very small topic. So what I am explaining to you, right? There's two more power we have. One is power access and one is admin access. If you give any user this power, they can use all the services, but they can't able to use IAM and billing. If you give any user this power or this policy, they can use all the services with IAM also, but they can't able to use billing. Okay, so what I did right now, I have given Eric as user power of admin. Because Eric has a power admin, so now this time Eric can use IAM also. Okay, let me check again. I think my network goes down, so that time maybe I've forgot to save it. Now Eric as a user now is attached to this power, and this is a pre-created power of policy or permission, right? Now the Eric has this power, so Eric will somehow work like a root user. All the power they have, they can also create new user, remove anybody else. They can go and use any of the services. Only thing that Eric can't do is bring to billing. So if you go to billing, so Eric can't able to change the billing or something like this. Apart from this, anything Eric can do. So sometimes, sometimes happen like initially we create a account AWS from a root account. Then we create one account like Eric, give a admin power and say, now you are the manager, you are the admin of this account. Now, whatever user want to create. So it is again something like this. So now you are the manager. I am give you the admin power. So under team, under your team, how many user want to create? Just go to IAM, just create it, and go give the power to them. Whatever power you want to give them. Okay, so this is the way it works. So you can think a company has their own root account. They create the account. You can think in this way, and where that is the billing account or something like this, or credit card. Okay, and then hand over to this manager with admin power. So they can do everything, but they can't able to change any billing account. A manager will go and create multiple accounts because they have a admin power. Okay, something like can do like this we can do. But guys, again, it's come with practice. Again, we keep on coming to this screen IAM services again and again. Okay, and there's lots of things also, guys, in the IAM I'm not discussing right now, but this is one of the simplest thing and very commonly used thing, I can say. Not simplest, very commonly used thing. So we keep on coming this screen, you guys become comfortable. So also you can do in this way also. If by chance, if anybody who don't have the account, and you guys maybe you have your own account, so what can you do? You can, from your account, you create a some sub user here, Jack, and hand it over the Jack user to some other students here who don't have the AWS account. So they can log in the Jack and they can practice something. What can they practice? Depend what power you have given to this. So if you want to share your account to other guys, those who don't have a AWS account for practice, if you want to share in a team also, you can do it. So this is one of the way we can use this concept of IAM. So guys, a lot of things we have discussed today. Okay, even though some of the very commonly used services, multiple time, guys, this concept come up. Don't worry. In the first go, if you by chance, if you're not able to understood, okay, don't worry. Multiple times will come up. You will be very much linked soon, guys. So that's all, guys, for today. Any query if you have, you can ask me. I think, guys, please take some advanced. No, Pankaj, we can't directly go to advanced topic, right? If you don't know the basics, right? So maybe you know, but not everybody know, right? What are the limits of S3 in feet here? As such, Sobit, I think you can go and check the as such you can check and free tier actually also, but S3 they give you 5 GB free, I believe, or something more. We will you can check from the free tier document. Can we integrate AD LDAP? Yes, Prasad, you can integrate Active Directory and LDAP also with the IAM. With the concept of federation here, they have concept of federation or identity federation you can use, or they have some service also in AWS called AD, Active Directory Services. You can use that one also. Okay, but I think because this topic normally we cover in AWS security programs, right? So maybe we won't cover here, because your question is, can we do? Yes. How? Uh, how? I'll try to give you the idea in future classes. but it is a part of security, a specialized program. Is the student AWS account? Yes, Akshat, maybe. I never access the student account, I think provided by colleges, but maybe they don't give you admin power. Okay, they might give a power user power. Okay, just go and check. If you have a power to go inside IAM and able to create some new accounts, it means they have given admin power. But if you're not able to go to IAM to create a new account, it means they have given a power access power. Okay. Guys, I believe because from last to 10 minutes, I believe you guys are saying my screen was paused. So I just explained some more policy type here. It is pre-created, like we use a EC2 or we use S3. Likewise, we have some more policy uh, permissions available. So what I did nothing special. I just go here and remove the older one and add some more power. That's what I did. Okay, so this is my last 5 or 10 minute practical. Okay, and after I remove, I attach some more new. And I attach the admin that give you all the power. I attach power user. Again, they give all the power, but only they won't give the power of IAM. Okay, but like these are guys pre-created power given by AWS, also known as policies. But in the future classes, I'll explain you how to create your own policies. Okay. But before this, I want you guys please go and comfortable with this one that is already pre-created. And when I explain you how to get on, I will explain you guys this concept again, a little bit more basics, so you can link it properly, why to create, how to create all the things. Lucky won't be possible IoT, or maybe we might touch blockchain in Earth, but IoT might not be possible due to some reason in the Earth. You have an internet problem because of no, my Windows doesn't update yet, right? It is all still pending. So maybe my system is down for not down. My net was down for last 1 or 2 minutes. What is serverless? Akash, we have a one dedicated topic in the serverless. I just wanted to introduce this term today, but in the one single line, it is if you as a user of the cloud, you want to use the services. That's all. But underline everything is managed by AWS, even the server also, and you don't have a visibility of server also. Okay, just you can that likely go and use it like the S3. Okay, so that is known as serverless. Okay, but the actual meaning, core meaning of serverless, you will understood when I start the topic of Lambda. Okay, Dharmendra, that restriction because of some kind of code, because when you take the screenshot, some code run, right? So if your Android app you have, so in Android app we can do a restriction that your screenshot keys of won't work when this option open, or when you use web app, they will use some JavaScript. Okay. We will discuss guys multi-factor authentication when I come back to this topic again. This topic is not complete, guys. Right? It's just I introduce you, so you can see, yeah, this kind of thing also we can do. I come back to this topic again, and then I will pick the topic of other policies, rule, and multi-factor authentication. So network from for 40 minutes. Sagar, maybe not from my side 40 minutes. From my side, it's from last 1 or 2 minutes. Maybe from maybe your side might be. What I'll do, guys, just for today, right? Okay. Yes, which are our same thing I'm talking about. So guys, for today's recording, I will share to all, right? Okay. So if you think your side has some network problem because uh, I have multiple lines here, so if I am facing the network problem, it might be chances you guys might be facing, right? So I will share the today's recording, so you can revise some concepts again. And if you think, guys, after recording, even the main part of last 10 minutes, if you think is missed because from our network side, ask me in the next class. I will again revise for you. I will share, guys, social. I will share the recording. Don't worry, right? If you think some of the part is not understandable, no issues. In my next class, I will again cover. Madhuri, I will discuss about. We have some limit also in S3. Number of buckets, number of objects, number of size of file per objects. I will show you this list. S3 is not complete. I will show you that list in my next classes. So, Salim, the difference in root and admin is the initial account that you create from a credit card are root. And this account has all the power, even though you can go and change your billing dashboard also, or billing account also. But if any user has admin role, or I say not admin power, or admin access, okay, they can again also can do all the things in your account. But only restriction in the admin is they can't go to your billing account. So example, Eric wanted to go to billing account, they will, I show you that time they fail. So that is the only restriction. So yes, Guru Prasad IAM can be integrated well done. Okay. For this, we have to use a concept called identity provider here. IDP. We have to use IDP. That's called identity federation. We can use to integrate with LDAP. Can we integrate open source access management? Yes, yes. Why not, Anil? It is so much clearly. It is. It is. We can very much integrate our open source access management with AWS. Okay. Again, the role of IDP come in play. This is the main component for everything. Aman, if you might have used some kind of paid services. So if you go to billing, they show you detail actually which service they use. Okay, just go and confirm there. If you think you're not used, so there's a support chat message there or ticket. You just request them. They will revert your amount back. Okay. Yes, Omkar, we can also host the website Nest3 for static. Somehow we can make it dynamic also. How to host, pretty simple. I will show you if you want in next class. Actually, the task I given you yesterday was very interesting. I suggest don't try with AWS Storage Gateway. Okay, just try to use some kind of technologies or some kind of concepts of storage or networking. Okay, so don't try to storage gateway. Why? I will discuss in my that particular topic when come up. Okay. Can we postpone Parson session because of network issues? Okay, let me think. Lifespan, Mongana, Magogna, we have a very interesting discussion of the life cycle of S3, right? I will take a separate topic on this. I wish we will discuss the port number 50010 on Hadoop class. IAM service Nikhil is free. S3 is not free. Some portion of 5 GB they are giving free. That's a different point. But as such, it's not free. Can we find Swift server in OpenShift? Can you find means Mohammed, Swift is a one service in the OpenStack, like in AWS is S3. Swift is a object storage service. Can we find means I don't understand what you're talking of. Can we find? Uh, Batani AP means Asia Pacific. AP happens South happens means Mumbai come in India come in Asia, right? So AP stands for Asia Pacific. Yes, guys. Again, I think multiple times I told you, every topic that I touch, we will go in more deep dive. But obviously not in the fourth day, right? Not in the fourth day. We'll discuss as we go forward. Yes, snapshot also we'll discuss in AWS. Yes, yes, a bucket of different region will have a same name. Right? I think it should have. Just go and check also. But I think logically it should have. So I'm picking guys some more questions over here, as much as I can pick. Both Gotham, right? After the Earth, both. Both. What you ask, creative technology plus this is not the right word, job material. Okay. But yeah, you would be ready to work in any kind of projects for the job, in the job. So I'm just trying to speak to some more questions over here because I see same question again and again. Siraj, CF utils might not help you, right? CIFS utils is just to mount Samba mount points. Okay, but you are going to write the action somehow, but it won't help you. So the task that I given you, CIFS utils won't help you. Yes, Manav, according plan data science class we have today in YouTube, but I have to check because a lot of guys are facing internet issue, and today's topic is very important. So I don't want anybody miss this. Let me check. So Umay, I told you, just go to IAM. In the first screen, you can get the account ID and the URL. What difference with AWS cloud hosting and the website hosting, right? Kajal, I will discuss this point. It is actually misguided word, actually, I can say. Okay. So just give me some days, some classes. Keep again ask me this question after, even though after when I go for a topic called beanstalk, then again ask me this question, then I can properly explain you guys. Yes, Amol. For a while, when I go for deep dive into the IAM, okay, then I explain you there might be some core difference between policy and permission. But till that, just think policy is like equal to permission. Okay, just think. But there's small difference between them. But till then, access equal to policy equal to permission. Think these three words are same. Mana, I'm good. I'm good. Hemant, I have a long plan in the AWS. So after CSA, I'm also taking developer training also in parallel. Then I either I move to SysOp or maybe DevOps, AWS DevOps, maybe. But yeah, I will complete this complete track one by one. Okay, so it takes some month actually to complete this developer and CSA. Then we'll move to next part. But in this CSA, almost all the major topic, almost all the some of the topic of SysOp will automatically cover because I will go deep dive into all the topics. Okay. Yes, Karthik, we will discuss CI/CD in Earth. So it actually depends. Karthik, we have a way in the bucket that is called versioning. So if you're versioning, then if some of the version or data remove, we can roll back. So I'll take this topic in the S3. So no, actually, we it not work Khushi in this way. Which, well, in the one bucket, if you had 10 folders, right? So 10 files. You to share every file individual. Because for the AWS perspective, it look like a bucket is a folder, but it's not actually. What I mean by this, for today explanation, if I try to explain, would be very complex for you guys. But in upcoming class, I will explain this point to you. Okay. So technically, once the question is no, we can't share the only bucket link. Okay, and they will see all the list and download the file. Every file is a unique object in the AWS. That is the reason they use the term called object. Okay, then you have to share every one in one by one. Maybe you can create one web page. You can provide all the link there. They can click. There's a different point, but one by one we have to share it. Sagar, I'm not commenting in this point right now. S3 is considered more powerful than HDFS. Okay. Powerfulness is decided by multiple factors, right? HDFS we configure, S3 is configured by AWS. So because we are configuring HDFS, so what power we put there in HDFS does matter a lot. So what I mean by this, in your respective class of Hadoop, I will explain you. Himanshu, I'm going to launch a Kubernetes program. You can join that will cover all the thing about Kubernetes and Docker. Uh, are you getting my query, sir? Yes, Sayada, this line I have got it. But you know what, guys? I have getting hundreds of query here, and always come randomly. So it not come in the time by sequence in Zoom meeting. So maybe I might miss Sayeda your query. So admin versus access power we are already discussed, guys. The difference. What is the billing in IAM? I think Padil, I explain you this point. So I'm just trying to pick very quickly a lot of questions here. Maximum question has been repeated. Can you say that Google Drive S3 Dropbox is software working which gives the space, because without doing partition formatting we will not able to access this? Then then what is object storage first? It should be yes. Ritesh, even though if you use Google Drive S3, these guys have the storage initially internally they have already formatted for us. Okay, formatted for us, and then they give storage somehow by creating some web applications, these websites. Okay, but they have formatted for us. That's the point. So because they have to manage everything, so internally whatever we need in the storage, they give to us so that we can actually use it. Okay, that's point. Can anyone from EBS hard disk from account to it? Yes, yes, we can do it. Okay, we have to use some kind of way and trick how we can do. We will discuss in my upcoming, when I go for EBS in more detail. I will show you. Yes. Venki bucket is global. I told you already. Bucket is, or S3 is a global service. S3 guy is not free of cost. In your account, 5 GB is free, but it's not free of cost. Giving access is like a backend. AWS gives sudo power to some function of some user. No, actually not sudo Gotham. Sudo we give to Linux systems, right? So it's not sudo, right? It is actually a little bit complex for right now to explain you. They have some concept called oath, or there's a one protocol in the micro oath. So oath is the one who decides. So technically they have the microservices. So we give some microservice some power, some microservice some not power, right? So right now, obviously, for me, it's like not possible to explain you. But if you know the microservices concepts and OAuth protocol, so they are running something like this to giving the power, but it is not sudo. But yeah, if you are the Earth program learner, so in my upcoming classes, this concept we will discuss. So that time you can link it, what exactly these cloud are doing behind the scene to give the power. There's a lot of different storage type, Karthik, we have in S3. We'll discuss all the storage. Can you say again once what we have to choose when we don't give to give any power to the user? Nothing, Prashant. If you don't want to give any power to the user, just come to this screen. Okay, this screen and remove it. Click and remove. So I am page. I am page, and I am in this user, and I don't want this user can do anything. Come to this permission and say remove the permission. Okay, that's what I think I already removed. So if I refresh, maybe it's come out. Yes, JSON knowledge, Amit, we will need. So before I go for writing policies, obviously in our upcoming classes, I will first guys train you in the JSON first. Okay, because JSON we're also going to use in some other services also. I will first train you in JSON, then we'll start writing the code. SSO is a single sign-on, Himanshu. So if you if you integrate with some kind of identity solution like Ping Federate or Key show you, so it's provide you SSO. So one time login in one application, multiple applications you log in with our password. It's called SSO. Policy and permission not exactly same. I told you. I think this part I already taken. So So I think, guys, lots of question I've seen is being repeated, and some of the question I believe it will gonna come up in the next classes. It will cover, guys. Okay. Again, I'm trying to start the topic everything from very basics. Okay. Even though in every class I'll try to pick some topic that will be something new for the guy who already knows the concepts. So trying to balance between between all. Okay. But after everybody come in the same line, then we'll go more deep dive in all services. Okay. So that's all, guys, for today. We'll see you in next class. I'll share, guys, this. I will share this recording for today's class, and we'll share 2 or 3 extra video links where I have talked about partitions, right, and format. So it is not AWS, but having knowledge of that part will help you guys in the storage world. Okay, that's all, guys, for today, and see you in the next class. Bye. Take care.